Hi, I'm Paul, WD9GCO. I've been a ham since, way longer than I care to think about. I'm here to talk about the radio installation in my car. Now, it's different. It's quite a bit different than a lot of your installations, but we all have different circumstances. We all want different things. So this is a look into what I wanted out of the installation in my car, how I wanted it to work, and how I finally managed to implement it with the help of some people. And I thought I would show you so you can get some ideas. So let's take a look and see what we've got.
This is my car, 2018 Subaru Impreza Sport, named Serenity. Yes, that's where I got its name from. My goals for the project? These are the things that I considered most important: a clean, professional look, hide the ugly parts as much as possible, and have easy, convenient access to the controls. But most importantly, it was important that operation while driving be as hands-free as possible. The equipment for the project: the primary radio is a Kenwood TMV71A, secondary is a Connect System CS800D. Here's all of the parts laid out, preparation for the project to begin. The antenna that I chose, after a lot of research, is a Larson NMO2/70 with an NMO mount drilled through the trunk. Took some courage building to get that to happen, but I finally did it. And now for the tricky bits. What I really wanted was wheel-mounted push-to-talk. After half a dozen failed experiments, I had a brainstorm. Yes, Don, that was the breeze you felt. My car has a 5-speed manual transmission. The automatic version also uses shifter paddles, and that was the answer. Maybe. I ordered a set of paddles, and I asked my mechanic for a copy of the schematic for the wiring in the steering column. My mechanic rocks. He gave me one. I learned how to remove the airbag without having it explode in my face. That shows it right there. That's the airbag hanging loose, and that's after it's been disconnected and put away safely. That's the backside of the steering wheel after it was removed from the column, showing the mounting points for the shifter paddles. And those are the paddles. I wired them in parallel, so both of them are just simple push-to-talk. That's one of them in place, and that shows the back of the steering wheel with the updated shroud and both paddles mounted firmly. That is the key to everything. That is the roll connector, or the clock spring. Inside of that is a spiral flat ribbon cable that winds and unwinds as you steer. That connects all of the electronics in the wheel with the wiring harness. However, the wiring harness for the manual does not have the wires for those paddles. It does have the holes in the plug though. So the green wires you see on the left are ones that I forced into the empty holes in the plug. They made connections with the pins on the roll connector, and that becomes the push-to-talk connection from the car to the radio. And what you see here is everything back in place. You can see where my hands rest on what is essentially now squeeze-to-talk controls that move with the steering wheel.
The advent of radios with removable control heads, pretty much as a standard feature, is wonderful. It allows me to mount the big hardware with most of the wiring in the back, and then up here, all I have are the two control heads. Obviously for the TMV71 and the Connect systems for DMR. Both of these are mounted on a Lido mounting stock. This one has the claw that mounts under the bolt for the seat mount. This is actually the official mount for the Kenwood. There is not one for the CS800, but that's okay. I've got some industrial grade Velcro clamping this mounting plate to the back of the Kenwoods. Conveniently, both radios use the same microphone. So while I have the remote cables for them going down through here, I can use the same microphone for both radios. It's just standard Cat 5 that'll allow you to extend the mic. This one is connected up here. The Kenwood's is in the back, mounted on the chassis, so I have a longer extension running back there. But both of them end up running right here, and they're terminated into shielded metal Ethernet couplers. And that allows me to change the breakout pigtail from the Kenwood to the CS800. This is a power switch for the antenna relay to switch between either the Kenwood or the Connect Systems radio. Both of these are in a perfect position as I'm driving. Just a quick glance over, I can see what they are. The controls are easy enough to reach without having to really take my eyes off the road, and it works extremely well, and I'm feeling very comfortable as I drive with it. One of the tough parts for me was deciding where to actually put the radios themselves. My trunk is not conducive to mounting them along the sides, and I did not want to mount them underneath the rear deck simply because of the heat and the fact that it's something hanging down if I needed to put something larger in the trunk that it might hit. So what I finally ended up deciding to do after some soul searching and some research was this. The radios are mounted on a cutting board. This is an HDPE or high density polyethylene cutting board. I believe it came from Walmart. It's very easy to drill. It's very stable and it doesn't warp. The back is covered with an array of rare earth magnets that keep it stuck to the metal back plate of the seat. A little bungee cord here prevents it from sliding down because it's pretty heavy and it is on this cloth. This is the CS800, that's the Kenwood. Cables are all bundled together very neatly. Power cables come back here to a PowerWorks distribution block. The main power comes up along the sill, the molding trim, and then goes into here. This is a little breakout power lead that goes back up front for that switch that controls the Dow key relay. Relay here switches the antenna between the two radios. Speaker connections. Remote cables, everything comes out back down here and then goes up front. I have got the programming cables permanently attached. If I need to make some changes while I'm on the road, it's pretty simple. I pull into a rest stop, drop this down. I've got a tablet with me that has the programming software on it, and I just plug in the cable and I can make changes as needed and then fold everything back up. Okay, so the upshot of everything I showed you is this, and this is how it works. If I'm out driving and I want to use the radio, I pick up the headset, just put it on, adjust the mic so it's close to my mouth. That way it doesn't pick up the road noise and it just picks up my voice. If I want to talk, both hands on the steering wheel, fingers on the shifter paddles. Like I said, they're wired in parallel, so it doesn't matter if I've got my left hand on the wheel and I need to shift or I need to adjust the volume. I can keep talking with this hand over here. If I need to turn the turn signal, or if I need to adjust a mirror or a window, I can keep this hand over here. Otherwise, both hands on the wheel. Either way, I can keep talking. So if I want to talk, all I do is I just push the paddle. This is WD9GCO Mobile for a radio check. And I've keyed the radio. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you got some ideas out of this. Maybe some of these will work for you. Maybe some of them gave you some ideas on things that you might try with yours. Like I mentioned, this isn't for everybody. It worked for me, but it involves adding parts to your car that weren't there originally. It involves going into the wiring, taking your steering wheel apart, and other things like that. It also involves having a very helpful, friendly service manager who thinks that ham radio is cool and gets what you're doing, and he helps you do this so that you don't void your warranty. But in the end, for me, what I wanted, what I thought I needed, worked out very well. Hopefully, this helps you. I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO from Amateur Radio Newsline. Have a good evening. 73.